Okay guys, you saw the title of the video. You know what this is about. I'm leaving China. I've spent a good portion of my life, the best years of my life, you know, the early 20s to mid 20s. I was living here in China, fresh graduated from college, and I'm leaving. It's time to hit the next chapter of my life. It's been wonderful here. And yeah, I mean, you can probably see a little bit like I have a suitcase in my apartment. It's just a mess. Like I'm packing up, and you know, after spending several years in a foreign country, you know, you kind of make it your home. I have a lot of crap here. It's taken me a long time, but you know, this is my last week. I have exactly a week until I'm back in America, and I just wanted to take some time just to record a video, just to kind of, I guess, say my final feelings about China, like things I'm going to miss. I wrote down some things on my phone. I'm going to, just to kind of help me remember, I'm going to try to talk from my heart. I might cry, to be honest. I hope I don't. I hope I don't cry on camera. But yeah, just might happen. This is in no particular order or anything, but I guess the first part I'm going to miss is just kind of like the landscape and the architecture of being here in China. I mean, that's always one of the best parts that I love about traveling, is just kind of seeing beautiful landscapes and the architecture that's based off the culture and the history. I mean, America, we have history, we have culture. You can see different type of architecture, but I mean, I'm from the Midwest. Like, we kind of flat, just cornfields and all that kind of stuff. I mean, my home is beautiful, all of America is beautiful, but just being in another country, you just kind of seeing the different landscapes and like the culture and like the way their buildings are shaped, like the Chinese architecture. We don't have that here in America. You'll have like giant Buddha statues and other religious figures that are just that are practiced here, so they're idolized, while you wouldn't see that kind of stuff here in America. And I'm just really gonna miss that, because I just love that. I'll post some pictures maybe right here of what I'm kind of talking about. And again, I'm sorry, I might not be able to explain my feelings really well. I'm just kind of just rambling and just kind of I don't know, there's no script or anything like that, so I'm just kind of telling you guys how I feel. So the architecture and just the landscapes are just beautiful here and just breathtaking. Like, I deleted my Instagram a few years ago just because I would go to these wonderful places and I would look at them through my phone, like through the camera of my phone, and not really appreciate them for who they really appreciate it for what it really is. And you know, I would take the photo, then toss on filters to make it look better, I guess. But then I just kind of realized, like, let me just live in the moment, just soak this in, just really appreciate it. And I've been loving that, like just having my phone in my pocket and just like just looking at the landscape and the architecture. It's been great. The history and the culture, this kind of goes into the architecture, because their culture influences the culture and history influences the architecture. And again, I kind of just mentioned of just the Buddha and other religious figures, the different buildings, temples, palaces. I really appreciate China's immersive, how they'll have modern right next to like old ancient buildings. So you'll see like these giant skyscrapers, but you know, they won't destroy the temples or the original buildings there, so they kind of integrate it together. And I really appreciate that. I think a lot of other cultures are quick to just destroy things. I mean, in America, like we don't have any buildings older than 400 years, you know, and we're kind of quick to destroy and then build new, while in China they kind of keep and preserve some of these old buildings, which reflects on their history. Like, they're not forgetting where they've come from, and I really appreciate that. Something else I'm going to miss, I guess this is kind of funny, but just the convenience of living in China. And I mean, I have a bunch of different things that I wrote down, like WeChat, which I talked about in a previous video. You can check that out. I'll toss a link somewhere. Which is just a messenger app, but it's, I mean, they have WeChat Pay. Like, you never need your wallet or anything. You just pay everything on your phone. Taobao. And Taobao is pretty much Chinese equivalent to Amazon, what we'd have in the States, but me personally, I think Taobao is a lot better than Amazon. Like, I think the delivery is faster. I think they have more products, and I think also just with the placement of China where it is in the world, you can easily get more international products. And then I guess moving on to the next is just how cheap China is. Like, a lot of things on Taobao are cheap, and then just buying clothes. My cat just jumped, so moved the camera. Clothes are cheaper, the food is cheaper. They have a lot of cool delivery services, which are pretty much the equivalent of Uber Eats and Grubhub. But again, I think they're just, the delivery is faster because, you know, China has a lot of people, so it's a huge competitive market. So if you're not as fast, you're slow, you're slacking, you get replaced real quick. So all these, they need to have like the cheapest prices, great discounts, and like fast speed. And I'm really gonna miss that. I mean, coming back to America, I have some jokes with my Chinese friends of like, I'm hungry and like things are closed, and I'm like on Grubhub, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like where I live there's only like 5 restaurants that deliver, and they're all like the same pizza place or something, and like, I'm hungry for Italian or something. But on the Chinese delivery app, I mean, I could get anything fast. Like right when I'm hungry, you know, they'll make the food and get it to me like within 15-20 minutes, which is great. So I'm going to miss the convenience of that. And the next thing that I'm really going to miss is traveling. I've traveled all around China, north, east, southwest, you know, every direction. But also living in China has allowed me to travel to a lot of other countries cheaper. Australia, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, Korea, Japan. I'm so close to all these other countries, and it's so much cheaper, while in America I literally have to travel across the world to get to these places, while living in China it's like, oh yeah, Korea, it's an hour flight over there. Like, great, and it's a lot cheaper. So I'm definitely gonna miss that. I mean, America, you know, we have like South America countries, North Canada, but some of those countries I've already been to, and I guess not to really say anything bad about any like cultures or anything, but I mean, the easiest for Americans to travel to is Canada. But, and again, nothing against Canada, but it's just like America, you know. Like, I really like experiencing new cultures, especially that are completely different than my own. So it's been really cool being on this side of the world and being able to travel to all these different Asian countries that, while I was growing up in America, I would never even imagined of me traveling there and being able to experience those cultures. So I'm really thankful for that part about also living in China. Public transportation is another thing I want to miss. I mean, we have public transportation everywhere in America. Some places are better than others, but I mean, where I live in America, like, I have a car. I'm always using the car, which is great. It's convenient. You know, I'm kind of like, I'm independent, you know, I don't have to wait for a schedule or anything, but being on my own, it's really good to have a great public transportation that's easy to understand, easy to access. Just kind of, the buses are always on time, right when they say, depending on the bus, you know, like, it'll come every like 5, 10, 15 minutes. So I know exactly, oh, okay, it's 8:05, like the bus will be here, and it'll take me exactly where to go. The taxis are very convenient. and it's just really nice, you know, to have this kind of public transportation, you know, reduce my carbon footprint a little bit. You know, in America, like, I'm driving like just a mile down the street, while in China I have a bicycle. It's easy just to ride my bike or a walk or just public transportation. So I'm reducing my carbon footprint a little bit, I guess. But just, I mean, public transportation is great and just a good way to also kind of save money. You know, if I'm in America driving my car, gas is expensive, so it's just another way to save money. And I mean, the public transportation, like to take a bus, it's, gosh, I should have did the math before this, but I mean, it's probably like 15 cents for like a full ride. Like, it's, you just pay right when you get in. You don't have to pay or like pay more depending on how long, or when you get off the bus you have to pay more. It's just, you put the money in and then you're done. And then the public transportation for the taxi, I mean, for the first few miles it's about equivalent of $1. So definitely going to miss that. And like, China's really cheap. I mean, some things like some of the Western restaurants like Starbucks will be about the equivalent of what it is in America, but for the most part China's a lot cheaper, and I really appreciate that. Every time I come back to America, I freaking forget how expensive America is. Like, I'll buy a bag of candy at a gas station and it's like the same price as a meal, like a full meal here in China. So I'm going to miss how cheap it is living in China, definitely. I think I have one more. Yeah. So I think all the things I've mentioned were just kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. Well, I'll just say the most important thing that I'm going to miss is definitely the people, the friends that I've met, the memories we have together. That's going to be the hardest part. Like, I love traveling. Like, the best part of, like, just, I guess, being me and just being able to travel and see the world. But the worst part is like the connections you meet, the people you meet, and like the connections you have, and then saying goodbye to them. I mean, it's awesome because I have lifelong friends, and I know if I'm ever traveling to these different countries, I can see them again. But you know, some people I don't get to see again, or for whatever reason, like, we lose contact. Like, I'm appreciative of social media. It's easier to keep in contact, but you know, some people you just lose contact with, and that's going to be the hardest part. That's definitely what's going to make me cry the most. I mean, I have all these material things around me that, like, some I'm packing up, some I'm just getting rid of and just throwing away, that also hold a special place in my heart, but nothing will beat my friends, the co-workers, the students, all the people that I've met throughout my travels. Like, yeah, I'm really gonna miss them, miss the memories, but you know, I just if any of them watching it, just know that I love you guys, that always have a place in my heart. If you ever travel to America and you need a place to stay, my home is always open. Even if we don't talk for like 10-20 years, you just randomly hit me up, I got you. And I hope you guys would do the same for me. I mean, I've had that experience. Like, people that I've met in China, like Russian, Ukrainian, Mexican, Polish, of course Chinese, Korean, Japanese, other Americans, people from England, Denmark, like Holland. Like, I've met people from all around the world, and just, they're great friends, and just just know, again, just, we're always friends, that I'll miss you guys like crazy. And in 1 week's time from today, when I'm on the airplane, I'm going to be wearing my sunglasses so other people don't see me cry. My eyes are watering now in this video, but I'm like trying to hold it in. But yeah, it's going to. I mean, these people are like my family, lifelong friends, best friends. I'm gonna miss them a lot, and I hope that we can all stay in contact, and in the future we can all meet up, like travel to England. You know, I can see you guys, or Mexico, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I expected of this video. And it's really just me rambling, but I just kind of wanted to get this off my chest, just to kind of, so you guys can understand my feelings and kind of what I'm going through with this big move. And my cat. Oh, excuse me, come on. So yeah, I guess that's just the end of this video. I'll continue to post videos about China while I'm in America, just kind of talking about my experience. I have another series planned about China, but yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry that was a little crazy and unorganized, but yeah, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.